First game on the list to decide me. It's gonna have to be Dino Jump on Google Chrome. No, I'm only joking. Because my internet's garbage. Everyone relates to Dino Jump when your mum unplugs the router because it's time to go to bed.
What's going on, guys? And welcome back to another episode of the Dual Hemisphere Hangout. My name is Luke, and join with me each and every week, I do have my lovely co-host, Jake. Jake, my man, say hello to the people.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. How are we all doing on the fine weekend again? It's
Yep.
It's getting. Me and Luke thought we had this podcast, and I have been stricken with technical issues.
Some random update. Yeah.
Why is it that Windows updates and drive updates just kill everything? They're meant to make things better, and
nope,
they just make things worse.
Fuck shit up. Yep. No,
it's annoying.
It's a thing. That's
so
annoying. It's a thing. It's a thing. No, I remember. I was like, I don't know when the last time you turned your PC on, but I have not turned my PC on since Saturday, maybe Sunday. And then when I turned it on for the first time, like it just took 30 minutes for everything to load up, everything to open up, get stable. Like my Internet Explorer thing popped up from last Sunday with like my YouTube and all the stuff we were talking about. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I'm like, oh, I just remember what I was looking up. And I'm like, oh, that's why my computer, like, I was trying to play music on Spotify for like 5 minutes. And it was like, yeah, no, like we're waiting on it. I'm like, bro, but you gotta love technology, man. It's meant, like you said, it's meant to make our lives easier, but 55 episodes later, we're still having to figure
still struggling
when shit hits the fan. But that's beside the point. I mean, Jake, how's your week been, my man? I know you said you've been pretty busy this week.
Yeah, the Christmas ramp has started, and it's just it's brutal. It's absolutely brutal. Mm-hmm. We also had government inspections this week, so you can tell what that's like when everyone's just on really high stress. And apparently I wasn't supposed to be involved, but I got dragged into the whole whirlwind of it. And it's really weird because like you're not allowed to say certain things, so you have to kind of like put a facade on, and like don't lead them down a path of what then really not supposed to be auditing, because they will. They're very good at their job. They come in and they want to know everything. But we kind of just got fed to the wolves a little bit in this week, which was a bit. I've voiced my opinions at work. I'm sure I'll be welcome back on Monday. If not, then I might be in a bit of trouble. But other than that, no, it's been fine. But yeah, like Luke says, I still haven't finished ZA, which is why we're not talking about ZA this week. It's all my fault.
No, we're not. It's not all your fault, because to be fair, I beat it, but I have not touched it because I've also have been swamped with work. Well. It's just the end of the year, man. It's like we joked around about, God, probably back in August, right? It's the calm before the storm, because we know November is about to hit the corner and everything's got to get done by December 13th, because everyone's going on holiday sooner or later. So, November's a crazy month. Kids are in and out of school all week, next week for the first 2 days. So all elementary schools are out. So that means we're taking in like 20 extra kids than we normally take in. We're understaffed because we had I like to say it was like a coup, but it wasn't really a coup. It was more of we found shit out, and then someone got fired, and then that said person's favorite people followed the person who got fired. So we've been short staffed. So I've been working crazy shifts. So I've been coming home, and I was like, I just want to play something very simple. I just want to play some Madden. Something I can just unplug. I'm not in the mood for Pokemon right now. I just want to just throw the football.
I love the fact that
and go to bed.
Your relaxing game is Madden. I'm assuming you're playing offline because.
Yes, I don't play online. I don't play online. No, I don't play online. I'm not gonna lie.
You're not stressing online.
Oh, no, I'm not gonna lie. Today was pretty bad. I was trying to beat this team, and I was like, okay, I got 30 minutes for the pod, and I'm like, threw an interception at the last minute. I'm just like, all right, that's God's name, God's way of saying, Luke, it's time to record. Jake's waiting for you upstairs, and marched my ass upstairs, sat down, and then Jake had the technical difficulties, and I was like, thank God, because I'm not gonna lie, I was a little agitated, and we might have went on another tirade for the podcast, but we're good, we're calm, nothing's going on anymore. I'm not upset, I'm not agitated. The pick six to lose the game definitely we hit pause, we hit start, we hit close game. It never happened.
Oh, so you're a resetter. Are you a resetter?
I'm not, but that one just pissed me off. I'm like, I'm coming back to this game. I'm not gonna. I was mad. I was like, nope, we're not losing to this. Nope, we're not losing. We're not throwing a pick six.
I think it's like my personality that I do not reset. I just accept defeat.
Sometimes I won't, but this one I was I was just tilted. I'm like, no, we're just gonna pretend. I mean, my roommate was sitting next to me playing Battlefield and looked over my shoulder. I even peeked. I'm like, he's not paying attention. Quit. And so I'm going upstairs.
Nothing happened
because he would have called me. He would have called me out on it so quick. He'd be like, "Oh, Luke doesn't want that loss." I'm like, I did not. I did not. Not in the rain. But no, it was all good.
I suppose that leads us into Luke's wonderful idea. I don't said you saw it somewhere on the internet, and we're going to do it as well.
I mean, everything on X. I mean, if you're on social media, on gaming, like the side of social media, you probably have heard this thing going around called 9 games to get to know me. People are like posting like pictures of like their 9 favorite games or 9 games, so I kind of would describe them. Lots of podcasters have also talked about it. There's some YouTube videos on it. So I thought it'd be a cool idea, since me and Jake are obviously co-hosts of the Dual Hemisphere Hangout. We're not going to be doing 9 separate ones. We're going to be doing 4 and 4. And then there's obviously one game that we both love very, very much that we'll talk about together, because it is kind of like our favorite thing. But yeah, we're going to talk about some of those games. We'll best describe us. I'm not saying our 4 favorite games, but something like, if you were to be like, this is the type of gamer I am, or this is the type of games I like, this is would be what it would be. So I'll start, because I kind of wrote mine down a little bit, so I'll go first. So probably the first one, I would say, to describe me, I mean, I've talked about this series a lot, and I've talked about that one game specifically in the series is probably the best game I've ever played. Now, I'm talking about the Persona series, obviously. I've talked about Persona multiple times on this podcast, Persona 5 Royale being probably the best game I've ever played. But it's not I've replayed all the Personas recently over the last year. And I would not say, I don't think Royale is probably my favorite one. It's the best one by far. But my game that I would say would best describe me would probably be the 4th one, Persona 4 Golden. Main reason for that being is it was actually probably my first like long form JRPG or RPG in general that I played from start to finish without taking breaks. Most of the time when you're playing like a 100-hour game, story it takes to beat, and you might take a little break. Sometimes I usually take a break like before like the 3rd act or something like that, where I know like we're getting kind of near the end and I want to savor it a little bit. But this one I was just hooked instantly. A lot of it had to do with, the story obviously being really fun. It has a very much of like a Saturday morning cartoon, nothing super serious stakes going on. Like the whole premise is this group of kids or teenagers find out that there's a local town murderer who is pushing people into the TV. And then there's a TV world where when someone goes into TV and the fog comes, they face their quote unquote true selves, a side that they don't want people to see. And if they don't get rescued, they end up dying in the real world. So they're trying to like solve the mystery about how this world works. Obviously, the theme of it is facing your true self. So, the main characters that do have to face their true selves are facing like things that probably, people wouldn't want to talk about. And specifically when this game came out, being 2008, and then Golden, the one I'm talking about, 2011. They talked about some pretty interesting themes. So obviously, one of them that really stood out was um, one of the males who comes across as a really big tough guy, because he really is, but he likes some feminine things like sewing and stuff like that. And so kind of dealing with the thing of his true self is him facing those feminine sides of himself, where, quote unquote, back in the day they probably would have been more open to saying he might be gay. But that's not what the developers went with. But other stuff like that, being on the opposite side of things, a girl being in a male dominant profession, and her true self is trying to be, I'm a boy. And I'm like, that's some interesting stuff that you just don't expect to, like, I've never come across in a video game before in my limited time. The OST is amazing. Like, it's one of those few games where I hear the song and I play the game, and I just have a smile the entire time. Like, it's a vibe. The characters are amazing. It really feels like you're playing a game, and the cast of characters, you're just a part of the friend group, and it's just a really cool feeling. And yeah, it's definitely one of those games where people ask me, like, what's your favorite game? I'd probably say Persona 4 Golden is definitely one of my favorite games, and it really just describes me, because, as Jake knows, I really do like those long form story based games, and that's probably my favorite one out of the hundreds I've probably played at this point.
Yeah, your game library is
yeah, it's ridiculous.
A damn sight longer than mine. And if you haven't seen that podcast, I suggest you go back and watch that one, because
it's a trog. I definitely tell you that.
I mean, I've never played it. Can't really comment on it. I know, like, Luke will at one point force me to play it. Not force me to play it, but may introduce me to the Persona series.
It's $20 on Steam for like all five. So I mean,
I need to stop spending money on games. I've spent so much money on games recently.
Fair enough.
So if I needed to go for my first game on the list to define me, it's gonna have to be Dino Jump on Google Chrome. No, I'm only joking. Because my internet's garbage. Everyone relates to Dino Jump. When your mum unplugs the router because it's time to go to bed, and she knows that the internet will stop you playing the game. It's like, okay, back to Dino Jump, I guess.
Joke's on you. I got my...
It's... You cannot stop me gaming. No, I think the game I've played if we're going on like playtime, like Luke says, and the game that properly hooked me, it's gonna have to be Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. A game that defined me in a way that introduced me to it's okay to rage. It's okay to shout profanities at a screen. It's I want to say, how many hours do you reckon you've played the Persona series, or days? Just a roundabout number, because I know my playtime on COD 4 over the majority of the consoles I've played it on, because it's the PlayStation, Xbox. I had it on them all.
I would probably reckon I've replayed 3, 4, and 5 twice, and I've replayed 3 a third time. And they take about 100 hours on average. So 300, 500, about 700 hours, I would say. Maybe like 750, I would say.
So
on app,
yeah, you're looking, and then
that's as a whole. Yeah, that's as a whole. And day wise, I don't know what 750 divided by 24 is, but probably close to a month of Persona, I would say.
Yeah. I know across all consoles, my COD 4 gaming experience has well surpassed 250 days. I have played almost a year of in-game time on Call of Duty 4.
Holy shit.
I think on my PlayStation 3, I had about 50 days. On PC, probably less. Maybe around like 25 days. And then on on Xbox 360. You're looking at well over the 150, breaching 150 days on Call of Duty 4. So, and it's the worst thing is like the map pool is like 15 maps. Have you just converted it to hours?
6,000
hours
of COD 4.
Well, the thing is that that's a span over maybe 10, 15 years. So since it came out till about maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I'd still be playing because the servers are still populated. Like people love that game.
Yeah, of course.
And then, well, you don't want it. Well, if I did the whole Call of Duty series, yikes.
Yeah, we don't want to. We don't. That'd be me. Be like, all right, let me talk about every Madden game I played, and I probably logged 100 hours and 25 of them. You know what I mean? Like it's.
I think everyone's had. Everyone knows the Call of Duty hype back in 2007.
Yeah,
which I think is when it came out.
Mm-hmm.
I had nothing better to
Modern
do.
Warfare.
I was playing 7 hours after school every day, and then on a weekend, I'm probably playing 15 hours. I'm putting in a full-time job's worth of playtime, and I love that game.
Yeah, no, COD 4 is definitely like one of the ones where I enjoy that one. And I'm not a shooter fan, and I think it's so funny because you talk about like I honestly think probably the fact that I don't really vibe with shooters other than Battlefield because of my core friend group that I played with has a lot to do with the fact that I did not have Wi-Fi when those games were out. Like I did not. We had dial-up, so I couldn't, play online with friends. So I always wondered like how things would have changed if I did have online because all my friends were playing it, and I'm just like, well, I'm not playing with friends, so I don't have any interest in it. So, and I was never really good at it, anyways. And that's it's a skill issue. That's why I like Battlefield. I can just give people ammo and heal them, and die in a little bit and kill some people and still do well. But no, everyone and their mother played Call of Duty, and I just remember back in the day Call of Duty and the Battlefield. Like, what was better? Was it Bad Company or was it COD 4? And I always think that's like I miss those days, and I'm very happy that Battlefield 6 is out right now. So if you hear screaming in the background, that's my roommate playing that.
Is he playing the new BR? Is he?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. And then I'm looking at my monster can. I didn't even know that we're on 7, but we're on Call of Duty Black Ops 7. So
yeah, that comes out next week or the week after.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, so it's nice. It's nice to see that we've got the Battlefield Call of Duty back. Because Battlefield 5, we don't talk about that. That didn't come out.
Yeah, that was a pretty. It wasn't a bad one. It just wasn't a good one. Like,
no, it wasn't. Yeah, you can't follow up Battlefield 5 from 4 to. Yeah, it's just no excuse. You can't. You just can't. But anyways.
That game defined the rage, Jake, that many people see on when I did stream. I don't do it very often now, and a lot of content. Draft League. The competitiveness pulled me out because I would do. It was the whole clan sagas of like game battles and sniper lobbies. Like competitive rankings back in the day. Like there was a serious thing going on websites where it's like, oh, you would play like the 4th ranked sniper team and you would smash it out on Crash, and then you get some points. It was a whole ladder system that was working outside of the game, which you don't really see anymore. It's all inside games, like rankings in terms of that. But yeah, COD 4 was definitely one of the first games to define me as a person and my gaming repertoire. And I will pass it back to you.
Yeah. So this next game on the list is a game that I would just define like my Xbox generation, because I did switch over to Xbox for the Xbox One console, the PS4 Xbox One, which was probably the worst time to switch because PS4 got its shit together. I did have a PS4 at some point, but I did choose an Xbox at the beginning because all my friends had 360s in high school, and so I ended up getting an Xbox One. But this game specifically is going to be Forza Horizon 2. Um, one thing about me is I do love my racing games. I've played probably every genre of racing game that there is, going from your burnouts to your Need for Speeds to your Gran Turismos to your dirts to your grids to your MX ATVs, like anything that if it's got wheels, I probably put some time in it at some point. Um, dude, I go back to when I first had the Xbox One. There wasn't any games out for it at the time, but Forza Horizons 2 demo was free for the first time. I was like, all right, I'm gonna try this demo. And I remember getting in uh, the yellow Lambo, and just being like, nah, this is it, dude. It was beautiful. It's the first time I really got to experience quote unquote that next gen graphics. And I put in 180 hours in that game. For a racing game, and
That's
I
a
did not
decent,
really
decent
and I
shift.
did not and I was not racing online. Like I still would not really go online. I would just drive around, take out all the I mean, I got 100% all the achievements on Xbox. Like I did everything in that game. I was fucking hooked. Um but I think really what it was is I think that was just the time where I was just enjoying the vibe of it all. It was very much like a music festival tied in with the racing, and that's kind of what Forza was. That was kind of when I was in my EDM phase that I was going through in college anyway. So it was kind of like a cool mix of. I remember the station. I always had Hospital Records radio on. It's like listening to Hospital Records radio and just driving through and just doing spins and shit. The barn finds were the coolest thing in the world to me. Anytime I'd be racing all these races, the off road racing. And then they're like, there's a new barn find, and I would stop whatever the fuck I was doing. I would get my drone out, I would go look for my barn, and I would find whatever old car was in there. And the favorite car, and every time a new Forza comes out, I have to check to see if this car is still here because it's my favorite car. It's a 1945 Jeep Willys Army truck. And I absolutely love that truck. There's a photo of me in one of those because I found it on the side of a fucking of the road in Virginia at one point. I almost bought that shit that day because of Forza Horizon 2. But my bank, I didn't have enough money in my bank at that time. He wanted $4,000. I had $3,000. I was like, bro, I'll give you everything in my account right now if you let me have this shit. Dude, I fucking love that game. And I turned that Jeep, and it's one of my favorite vivid memories of all time. Is I got on with my friend Sharif, and you can do a drag one, right? And so he brings out his fast hyper super car. I'm pretty sure it was like a Ferrari or something like that. And he thinks I'm trolling him, and I roll out in this Jeep 1945. I modded this Jeep out that when we dragged it, it fucking beat his shit by 5 seconds. And he was like, all right. Yeah, I'll never forget just seeing Sharif logged off Xbox because he's just like, what the fuck was that, dude? It's just so many memories, man. The vibes there. But I would say Forza definitely defined that Xbox generation chapter of my life. And I play every single one that's comes out. Every iteration I've put less and less hours into, but I would always say Forza Horizon 2 it's the first one, the first Horizon game I played, and it's just vibes, man. I just love it. And that's that defined my age 20 to 22 right there. Like that 2 year period.
It's funny you mentioned achievements and stuff. COD 4 was the only one that I've ever platinumed. Which is
nice.
which is fun. I wasn't really an achievement hunter, but that one, finding all the intels and all the missions and stuff was pretty cool. My second one, a bit of the off pick, but I feel like everyone has had an experience of this. Whether you have the game or not, someone in your close vicinity will. Guitar Hero 3.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone has had a chance to pick up that controller and realize how bad they are at the game and how much practice it actually takes. It's another game that I can't track the hours. It was a PS3 game. I didn't really have a tracker. I know I 5-starred everything on expert, every single song, barring the Devil Went Down to Georgia and Dragon Force Through the Fire and the Flames, which just so happened to then put that band on the map, and now everyone knows the. All you hear is the tripling of the trying to keep up with all the notes. But I remember that me and my friend Matty, I had Rock the 80s, and then he had Guitar Hero 2, and then we both got Guitar Hero 3. And it was a good time in life where I was an emo kid anyway, so like a lot of the songs I like listening to. The DLCs were pretty good. And it's a timeless game. You could just play it for hours and hours and hours. I did like that it kind of had a story. That you started off in the back garden, and then you become this superstar, and then you take on the devil, which is kind of cool. It's kind of
wasn't the third title like Legends of Rock, I think, right? Or was that 2?
So then you had like the boss battles. So you do like the guy Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine. You do Battle versus Slash, and then you could get like Slash's outfits and Slash's guitar. And then I can't remember the guy after Slash. There was someone else, and then you go down and battle the devil. Because you went down there and you played Slayer, Raining Blood, and Metallica. What I didn't get is they put, out of all the Metallica songs they put on there, they put Metallica 1, and you come in with all this like heavy metal, proper like devil stuff. Like, it's proper, and then it's like, dun 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 dun, dun 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 dun. And they had a plethora of Metallica songs that they could have picked. Like,
and they were like, that one.
That's the one. But I love that game. I think it's great. I could pick it up now. I'm not as good as I used to be. It turns out my hand-eye coordination back in the day was pretty good. Now it's garbage.
Oh yeah, no. I speaking of like Guitar Hero, so I was on the opposite side. We were like two sides of the same coin, but I was a Rock Band kid. So I played Guitar Hero first, obviously, because that one came out first. But I was always more drawn to like Rock Band, specifically Rock Band 2 and 3, and 4. There was a fourth one that also came out on the PS3, and I played the fuck ton of that. The sheer amount of money I paid on songs was crazy. I paid so much fucking money for like the DLC songs and stuff like that. But God, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, so Fortnite owns the people who run Fortnite owns Harmonix, who does Rock Band. And so they brought over something called the Festival, which is basically just Rock Band. And I just been like, dude, I can't play this shit. It's so fucking whack. I just want Rock Band. And I fucking went and spent $250 on a drum, a guitar, and a mic at like a retro game store to go with my PC. And I downloaded Clone Hero. And I played the fuck out of Clone Hero, which is like just basically Rock Band, but on your computer. And it's fucking awesome. And you can and there's a lot of creators out there that have like audio tracks that you can download. So I had the entire A Piece in the Panic Neck Deep album on there. Nice. And I was just on the drums, and it was just fucking dope, dude. So yeah, dude, I fucking love the rock. I love the rhythm genre, music genre game, and I want them to bring that back. And I think there will always be a time and a place for them to bring that back. I think, and now with Activision being owned by Microsoft might just be like, fuck it, time for Guitar Hero to come back or whatever. But
well, I think that there, like you said, Clone Hero. There was one on PC, if I remember correctly. Frets on Fire. That was a similar thing where you just needed the PlayStation 2 controller adapter to USB. It worked. Mm-hmm. It worked, but it had input lag, and if there's any game you don't want input lag, it's that.
It's those. Yeah. You hit green, and it's like, nope.
I think that was in heavy rotation for about a year or so. And I would just play the same songs over and over again. It was something about like learning the hard parts. Especially on expert. I remember when you first play on medium, because you've got 4 fingers and it gives you 4 frets. And then the orange button comes into place. Like, well, how do I press that? I've only got 4 fingers.
Oh yeah, and the thing is about like the orange one would come in on medium on the really difficult songs, and then when you go to hard, orange was everywhere, and then it went from like the single. I remember because it's like you would have like green, red, yellow, and then maybe the occasional yellow and red together, or green and red together, and then medium's like, all right, well, now we're having like red, yellow at the same time instead of tapping, and then expert's just like, we got it. Hard's like, all right, here's the orange. Your pinky's gonna be using the entire time, and then expert's just like, fuck you.
Yeah, it's like the red, yellow, orange. It's the 1, 3, 5.
Yeah. Expert could never do expert. I think the best I got was hard. I could do a couple of expert songs, but yeah, I was not guitar. The guitar was not me. I was the drummer, and I could do expert on drums. Okay. The kick pedal was I hated the kick pedal. It took me so long to figure out that damn kick pedal, but you know, trying to get my hands and feet to move at the same time it was tough. It was tough for me. But yeah, no, that's sick. That brought back a memory. I'm glad that you said that, because that just unlocked a core memory for me. So
yeah, I think everyone has them. Everyone has them.
Yeah, I know, right? I think everyone's played a Guitar Hero or a Rock Band at some point for sure. So yeah, for my next one, for my number 3, I have, fun thing about me is I do love me some fighting games. I've played pretty much every mainline fighting game besides Street Fighter. I don't know what it is about Street Fighter. I've never really got into Street Fighter, but I played them all. And my third game, I do have Soul Calibur 4. Now, I've talked about Soul Calibur 4 once or twice on this podcast. When we did our 3x3s, like that was like our third podcast, I think. Yeah, Soul Calibur 4. I just have very fond memories. That was like when we were talking about like I didn't grow up with having Wi-Fi. My PS3 era was me playing the computer in Soul Calibur 4 on expert and getting fucking really good at that game. Like it's like it was just nonstop. Like it's just such a fun game. Like the story mode was really cool. You had like there's about 20, maybe 20, 25 characters, and each character had like a little storyline that you would go through. You'd fight like 6 characters and fight the boss, and then you get a special ending about what they would do. It would continue the story from like the 3rd game into the 4th game. I really enjoyed that. I mean, I did that with every single character that they unlocked. So the cool thing about Soul Calibur, and what's always stood out about Soul Calibur, is 2 things, that being guest characters and character customization. Soul Calibur 4 probably had the best character customization next to 5. And yeah, you could just create your own characters. They could fight with the same fighting style as someone else. So you could have someone using Mitsurugi's katana. You could have someone using Setsuka's umbrella thing. You could have the one with the Azasamo's giant scythe. It was really, really cool that you could create your own characters. I always made myself a ninja because I always play. When I would make myself, a ninja, almost like an assassin, because I was really obsessed with Assassin's Creed at the time. But he would wear all white. He'd have the little hood. He would fight like a ninja. And my main was Taki, who was the fighting style that I would use. Who, when we got Soul Calibur 6 a couple of years back, when I finally had online, I was ranked in the world. I was a top 50 Taki player. I'm just throwing that out there. I was pretty fucking good. But they're like, oh, top 50 Taki player. What about in the world now? But I was really good with her. But that just defines that game. When I think of the PlayStation 3 specifically, besides another game that we're gonna mention here, I just go to Soul Calibur 4. My mother would play that game with me. Like it'd be the one game she would play with me because she thought it was cool. She sucked at it, and I would let her win. But it was just the thing where I was like, I have very fond memories of my mom and me playing Soul Calibur 4, and her getting mad at me because I would knock her out of the ring on the ship map because I thought it was funny because you just see the splash effect happen when they would ring out. And be like, ring out. And she's like, you didn't even let me. It's like, I'm sorry, Mom, you just left it. left yourself wide open. I just had to get you with the uppercut. And the cool thing about 4 specifically was when this was the wild thing. They freaking collabed with, I think this was before Disney bought Star Wars, but they collabed with Lucasfilms, and their guest characters for Soul Calibur 4 were Darth Vader and Yoda. And then they did a tie-in with the Force Unleashed apprentice, which was a super secret person who was my second main. But it was like, dude, I fucking playing as Darth Vader. Like, that's the first time I got to play as Darth Vader, and it looked like in my like 12, 13-year-old eyes, like Darth Vader off the TV screen. It was sick, man. I don't know, man. Soul Calibur 4 is like my favorite. Apparently, in the fighting game community, people hate Soul Calibur 4, so I'm an oddity in it. But man, it's I fucking love Soul Calibur 4, man. It's so good.
I mean, I've never played the fighting games. I had a little go on Tekken.
Okay.
On the PSP. But it wasn't my game. It was a borrowed game from one of my best friends.
Yeah.
And he loved that stuff. I couldn't... I'm not a big button masher, in a way.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it's especially like... I don't think Smash is, like, button mashing. It's coordinated button mashing.
Yeah.
But, like, the fighting games I've never really been good at. Anything like side-scrollery, really, as well. Like, side-on views. I'm just not... Yeah. I'm just garbage at them. And it's a very cutthroat world. The combat games, all of them. It's like, if you're not good, you're not good, and you never will be good, no matter how much you practice.
Yeah, no, it's not, man. And now the way they're made now, like they're made for you to play online because Soul Calibur is really good because they had a good story mode and they had some single player experiences. But unless you're getting online and with Tekken or Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat. Well, Mortal Kombat's really known for the story. But yeah, there's not much after you do after you beat like the 10 chapter campaign. It's like, all right, get online. And if you're not good, you're gonna get your ass
the game's
beat,
going,
and then you're not
getting dust in the back.
It's getting dust in the back, and then you're not gonna play it anymore. So
number tres. The third one in the installment. I think it would be bad if I didn't put a sporting game in there. Whether that be FIFA. I have played Madden a couple of times, despite being over the pond. As a child, which it didn't really catch American on football. Because I'm used to rugby league. So I was like, what is this? Like, pausing? Why am I stopping? Why is the game stopping? Oh, everyone's back in position again. But I was through. Like, I was through.
Yeah.
I think I'm not going to say FIFA because I feel like everyone played it and everyone knows what FIFA is. I have to go Skate and specifically Skate 3.
Okay.
That I was both me and Luke, well, skater kids. Luke even had the sea, so he could be a surfer kid as well. I didn't have access to water, and nor do I want to have access to water because I don't like swimming. and even in the UK, I'm still scared of sharks, and that's why you will not catch me in the sea in Australia either, because I ain't going in with those bad boys. I look like a fat seal to them. I am dinner. They look at me coming, it's like, oh boy, juicy little pork belly. It's like, serve me up with some caviar.
Yeah, and I go over to Australia with my surfboard, and Jake's like, "No, bye."
So I took the concrete version of surfing. I went for skateboarding. I love skating as a kid. I remember landing my first 360 flip. It was the best thing ever. Landing your first kickflip, landing your first ollie, doing your first grind, and I think the whole skate series just captured that way better than Tony Hawk's. In my opinion, I know people it's a completely different game. Tony Hawk's, to me, feels like a arcade game in terms of if you put that on something like a Pac-Man Retro, in an arcade, a physical arcade, and you put it on one of those like box machines, slaps, absolutely slaps. But for the authenticity of your front foot is controlled by the analog stick, like. I think just EA nailed it with the physics. as well. It felt real. Like you did have to learn the tricks. It's not a button combination. That analog stick can be very the difference between a 360 flip and a varial. That's how you got people to. That's how you won skate on the game. You would just do a varial kickflip or a varial heel flip, and people wouldn't be able to land it. Because it's actually a really hard input. You ended up doing a 360 flip, but I spent many of hours in skate. I can't say that you'd think the soundtracks from Tony Hawk were iconic. And the same as with the soundtracks from like Madden and FIFA, they're iconic. I can't remember the soundtracks from Skate, but that's probably because I played with it on mute and I had my favorite CDs going on in the background, whether that be Red Hot Chili Peppers Stadium Arcadium at the time or Tenacious D. What was it? The Pick of Destiny. What else did I listen to at the time? God, Foo Fighters, Avenged Sevenfold. I remember the CD. I had a CD player and a stack of CDs next to me. I had my CD player mounted on the wall, and I would take the CDs out and put them in, and I'd just be sat there playing Skate. Because I don't even think I did online on that game, even if it was online compatible. I never really played it online. But I put a vast amount of hours in. Even like my highest played Tony Hawk's game is probably Project 8. And I feel like Skate 3 probably tripled the playtime of Project 8. It was such a good game. Such a good game. And I know Luke plays it as well. And we're playing it right now on Skate 4.
Yeah, playing I enjoy Skate. I enjoy it. It's the perfect like 30 minutes before bed. Hey, let me hop on Skate, knock out a session or something real quick, and then hit the hay. But yeah, I think it's so funny because you think about Skate 3 and you brought it up. When Xbox first did the backwards compatibility thing for the Xbox One, when they brought that back, that was a big talk for Xbox users. And everyone was like, oh God, I can do my physical games again. I can play my old 360 games. Dude, the market for Skate 3 and NCAA 15, because they stopped making college football games back in 2015. Dude, they were like $70, and because you could only play it, you couldn't play it digital. You had to have the physical game. And that shit was like so hard to come by. Like my retro video game store, man. Like I was seeing Skate 3 and NCAA for like $70 used, and I'm like, bro, this is crazy. But no, that just goes to show how iconic like Skate 3 was, because it was the best skateboarding video game out there. And like Jake said at the beginning, and for me, it just captured the culture of what skating was. It really was. It felt like you were out there with your own board, but obviously you weren't. You were playing a video game, but it felt that way. The vibe of it all, it just felt really rooted in skate culture. And I think that is what drew a lot of the kids who probably didn't pick up the video games as much, but they had skate. They had skate. They 1,000% had skate.
It was nice to have a full day of skating in real life, and then you'd come home and then boot up Skate on the. It was a whole thing. It was a whole thing. I've still got my own skateboards. I need to maybe bring them back. I've got my first ever skateboard. It's great.
I do not have them. My roommate has his skateboard set up. I was talking to him the other day. I was like, I really fucking am so upset with myself for not getting into the hype with the mystery skate decks that they would come out with, like the collabs. Because they did one with Yu-Gi-Oh! They did one with Pokemon. So I saw some with a fucking Charizard deck that had like nice script. They didn't use it like it was
just a year or two ago. Yeah.
Yeah, and I went on. I typed it in and fucking $1,000 for a deck. I'm like, fuck, dude. Yeah,
1,000.
Like I think 700.
They did retail at $550. They were very expensive.
Yeah, no, they had the mystery. They were like a mystery one. You didn't know which one you were going to get, but you would go in there and they're like, "Yeah, I'll take one of the Pokemon decks," and I'm like, "Here you go. Hopefully, it's the one you want." They did that with Yu-Gi-Oh! They've done that with all the Naruto's and Dragon Ball Z's, because they had a big collaboration with Primitive, which is probably now one of my favorite skate brands that they out there, because I love the collabs they do. But no, I was just like, dude, you brought that up. I was like, yeah, dude, I fucking wish, because I would have fucking scooped up that deck, had it nice and set up, and I would have mounted that bitch right on my wall, and I would have never used it. That would have been an art piece. art
Okay,
piece.
back to you for
Yeah,
fourth and final before bonus round.
yeah. Fourth and final one. It goes without saying. You know, it's Assassin's Creed. Specifically, I cheated. I cheated because it's technically a game. It comes on one disc. But Assassin's Creed, the Ezio collection, so 2 Brotherhood Revelations. Um, it literally is like that is the PlayStation 3 for me. That's what it is. It was Assassin's Creed 2, then the following year Brotherhood, and then the following year Revelations. Um, I joke around with people about it all the time because I have my degrees in history. I got my college degree, my Bachelor of Arts in history, because I wanted to be a history teacher. But I didn't really kind of know what I wanted to do. And then I found myself one day. I was playing Assassin's Creed, and I think my friend came over and visited, and he was like, "Why do you keep reading the little like pop-ups where you walk into a new thing?" Like I would go in the menus and I would read like the 5 paragraph things on like of this city or the event that took
Were they
place or the
codex?
character
Or am
profile.
I thinking of
They're
something?
like codex. Well, no, codex is definitely one of the ones that you could collect. But it's just like you walk into Rome for the first time. It's like Rome, it would pop up in the bottom right. You would hit select, and it would tell you about like the history of Rome, and it would be like
Yeah.
5 pairs. I would sit there and I would read every single one of those, and my friend's like, "Why do you do that? Like, just play the game." I'm like, dude, I fucking love this shit. I love reading about it. And that's when I was like, oh, I just think I fucking really like history. And because I was always good at it, I didn't think about it because it was just super easy. Because I'm like fucking getting hundreds in my history class because I can absorb information really well. Um, and then I joked around. I was like, they're like, so why history? She's like, I played Assassin's Creed 2. And I said, I guess I like history. So I decided to spend $40,000 to go get my degree in it. But all jokes aside, all jokes aside, Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood, Revelations, man, it's just Ezio. He's my favorite character in all of video games. Like he's just my favorite main protagonist. Like I love his character arc from going to a young brash boy who witnesses his father and his brothers murdered in front of his eyes, going on a revenge tour in the second one, to realizing revenge is not the answer, to Brotherhood setting up and creating something long lasting, to Revelations being trying to find the answers of what he's been doing for 40 years. And I just think that arc in a video game, of course, it was spanned over 3 video games, but it's such a really cool arc that I wish the only thing I could compare it to is like Nathan Drake in the Uncharted series. Like that's the only thing I can compare it to where you have a character that grows through multiple games and the games themselves are quality. Obviously, the places they take place in that being Italy, Florence specifically, Italy, Rome, and then as well as Constantinople and Revelations, beautiful cities. There was so much to do in those games. I think back to it like from people hated the feathers, but I fucking love the feathers. Anytime I see a feather, I'm like, oh, there's a fucking feather. Gotta go get that fucking feather. Or like back and forth, the she shanty, she would see the little song. I gotta go get that fucking shanty. But I loved it. It had so much to do, but it didn't have the vastness of an open world, which for me, I don't really vibe with too big of an open world game. There's just so much to do. The armor collection. Um, I really dug the present timeline. I really loved the Desmond stuff. There's obviously a famous rant of me bitching about Assassin's Creed 3 because of what they do to Desmond at the end of the game. And why I hate Assassin's Creed 3 for that reason. Um, but like that was such a great time in my life. I remember being shocked at the end of Brotherhood when, spoiler alert if you haven't played Brotherhood, but when at the very end of the thing, Desmond grabs the apple and he ends up stabbing his love interest, who turns out to be like a co-op agent that we find out in the third game. But I just remember like putting my controller down, just staring at the credits, being like, what the fuck? They expect me to wait a fucking to the next game to find out why because nothing else happened. He just stabbed her and it was like credits. I'm like, sat. My mom came back. She was just like, "Are you good?" I was like, "No, everything I thought I knew was a lie." Like Assassin's Creed, like everything was like everything is true. I can't remember the line, but everything is permitted. I'm like, that was not permitted. I did not permit you to do that to me, Assassin's Creed. But yeah, those games, man, like that just defines my video game self from my teenager years, man, from 15 to 18 years old, my high school years of gaming on it. Was my first ever M-rated game my mom let me rent from Blockbuster. I remember that. I remember that being very cool because I'm like, all right, well, I'm technically 15. I have to be 17 to play these games. My mom's allowing me to rent this from Blockbuster. Oh, this is pretty cool. It was pretty cool. She wouldn't let me get Grand Theft Auto, but she's like, yeah, you can get Assassin's Creed. I was like, okay, cool.
Did you ever try buy them as a kid? Like,
no.
Have you ever?
No.
I remember the Modern Warfare 3 release.
Oh yeah, no, you had your parent.
I will have been 17-ish, and it's an 18 game. And I remember walking into the supermarket, and you pick your till. Like, right, who's not gonna care? And you go for the old lovely lady. Doesn't have a clue what this game is or what it is. I look young as hell, and I remember going up to her going, "Hey, how you doing, love? You good? You good?" And she's like, "Yeah, all right, darling. Oh, are you going to play this tonight?" It's like, this is a brand new game. I've sold loads of these today. I was like, "Don't look at the 18. Please don't ID me. Please don't ID me." And she boops it and puts it in the bag and goes, "Have a nice time."
That's so funny, dude.
That unlocked the core memory when you were saying, like, "Oh, it's my first like overrated game." I guess.
Yeah.
Did you ever play GTA San Andreas? Because we're both similar age, so I mean, I remember getting that.
No, my mom
GTA plus.
My first GTA was GTA 4, and I bought that myself. My mom would not allow for GTA was banned in my house because you could just murder people. She's like, that's not allowed. She watched She watched one thing of Good Morning America and how video games were violent, and they brought up Grand Theft Auto, and that was a done deal in her house until I was 18. I remember specifically borrowing GTA 4 from my friend and like having when my mom would walk in the room hitting start and just having the map open. I was like, "Oh, what are you playing?" "Oh, just some." I was like, Assassin's Creed. It's like, oh, okay. And so you're gonna walk out, and I'd be like, all right, let me go kill this other bitch who walked in my hospital. But no, I was just like, yeah, good old GTA, bro.
The people definer, I guess.
Yeah,
and then for my fourth final one, I'd want. I keep thinking like, is there any handheld games that I can think that maybe that I'd like to say, but without spoiling our final one, it kind of encompasses the whole handheld gaming scene and the majority of our handheld gaming playtime. I suppose I'd have to bring it back to the original. Before console wars existed, there was one war that stood above the rest, the test of time. Are you a Spyro or a Crash Bandicoot fan? I could say I'm firmly on the Purple Dragon side.
Fuck that Bandicoot.
It looks like Luke's with me. That divided the gaming community. That was the original console war. I think it just depends on. I think there was 2 bundles, PlayStation 1 bundles, where it's like you either bought Crash or you bought Spyro. I got Spyro. It stuck with me. When they brought out the remastered or reimagined series or reignited, that's what they called it. It was an instant purchase. Loved it, absolutely loved it. I think for me it's better. I've played both Crash and Spyro. I like the roaming aspect of Spyro. Crash was a bit linear at the time. And chasing the Eggmen, man. You're furious as a child because I didn't understand that you're supposed to cut the corners instead of just directly follow them.
Yeah.
Because if you directly follow them, you'll never catch them.
Nope,
ever.
You won't.
And I remember getting that egg, and then I did nothing with it because I didn't know where to take it. And then you learn how to fly and how to swim, and that took me the longest time as well. And learning inverted controls because I didn't know how to switch the controls at the time. I mean, I was so young. I was so young when I was playing this game.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
And not knowing how to say nasty Gnork, and it was Ganasty Gnork.
Ganasty Gnork. Yeah. It's like this freaking Ganasty Gnork.
Yeah. But no, dude. I think that it would be that was probably my second ever game behind what's coming.
Yeah, exactly. It was like next to Frogger, Spyro is and the game that we're going to talk about next. Like it was Frogger, it was Spyro, and it was that, and that's like just my childhood. Like Spyro the Dragon was a game my sister would play, and we had two separate memory cards, so we wouldn't override each other's save. And she was like, she was 7 years older than me. She was like, I was 7, she was 14. She was like, she understood how to play the game. I didn't. I was still in the first beginning area, dying to the time travels because I could never get enough choo-choo train things or whatever it was for one of those time travels back in the day. Those were hard as hell for 5-year-old Luke. But I love Spyro because it adds so much stuff to it. Like the second game, you meet Hunter, which unlocks the skateboarding areas, and I would sit in the fucking skateboarding area for like 3-5 hours and just skateboard because I'm like, oh, this is like Tony Hawk. I didn't have Tony Hawk at the time, but I had Spyro and I could do that for that one area for a specific amount of time. And then Spyro 3, which is probably my favorite out of the trilogy, where they introduced all the little companions like the Yeti and the Penguin, and you got to play as those guys, and the freaking kangaroo, Sheila. That was cool. Yeah, it's a great game. And I remember playing the Reignited trilogy and just be like beating it so quickly, and I'm just like, damn.
I was dope.
I sucked as a kid. I was bad. I was like, yeah, you mentioned the Eggman, and I just remember like, yeah, bro. I remember running around in a circle for like an hour trying to catch this fucking Eggman as a kid.
Eggman. When you realize that, because you kind of think it's weird because you're getting out of the map on top of the plains in the green plains. It's like, oh, this is a glitch, and then there's something up there. It's like, oh, and you run around in circles for hours because the only way you catch it is by snipping a little bit off. Because if you snip too much, it runs the other way. It was such a great idea and a bit of like gaming history that I think everyone remembers.
Yeah, I remember that and just being as a kid, I'm like, oh, there's this fucking Eggman. I know this might take me a minute, and getting him on first, I'm like, man, I just sucked ass as a kid. But to be fair, I think that game was made for children. So
yes,
it was not 25-year-old Luke playing the Reignited trilogy was not that. That was obviously the target for us to go back and play it, but they did not change the difficulty at all. It was very much still a child's game at the end of the day.
And now, finally,
we can talk about the game.
If you couldn't tell, we've been directly avoiding it because I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I could have put all 4 slots as the same series title.
Exactly, right? Exactly. That's why we're like, we have to pick one.
So my first ever game I ever played was Pokemon Blue. And depending on when you came into the series, Luke, I think you were just shortly after me. And it is the game that is dearest to our hearts.
Yeah.
We are Johto fanboys.
Yes.
I suppose we can go with the remastered series, the Heart Gold Soul Silver, because the originals are not good. They're not good. No. they did not stand the test of time, but the remasters did. And that's it's a one-off in these occasions. You never really see a remaster that's decent anymore.
Better. Yeah. Yeah, you don't. Yeah, I mean, like Jake said, it's Pokemon Heart Gold Soul Silver Gen 2, whatever you want to call it by. It's just I played Red. Red was my first one, but I don't have memories of playing Red other than my first grade. My friend Thomas, who lived down the street from me, sent me a note saying to come over to his house so we could beat Victory Road because we couldn't get through Victory Road, but he bought the guidebook so we could figure out how to get through Victory Road in Pokemon Red. That's my first memory of Red. But the game I played the most as a kid, and I know, was Pokemon Crystal. And yeah, Heart Gold Soul Silver was just Crystal, but better in every single way possible. It's the best Pokemon game that they've ever made. And I will say that confidently, and I will fight someone who argues differently because it's just, I mean, first off, the coolest thing about Pokemon Heart Gold Soul Silver is the fact that your Pokemon follow you around. And I'm talking all 492 Pokemon that are available in that game will follow you around, from your fucking Weedle to your fucking Giratina, right? Like, that was fucking dope. I remember I was 15, 16 at the time, being like, yo, is that my Chikorita following me around? Or, well, it was a Totodile. I was like, is that my Totodile following me around? Like, that was so fucking amazing. And then, for me, it's like the post game was the best part. Because again, we talk about it all the time. It's so much to do. Like, yes, you had the extra 8 gym leaders and you could take on Red, but on top of that, you had the gym leader rematches. You had the post game stuff where you could get Rayquaza and Groudon and Kyogre. You had the Pokeathlon. You had the Advanced Safari Zone. You had the Battle Frontier. And you had there was so much to do in that singular game that everyone that probably played that game that was a Pokemon fan at the time probably broke the internal clock on that game, maxed out at 99999. I know I did.
I did. I definitely did.
Yeah, it's such a good game, man. And it's just, I mean, Jake, go ahead. You just,
the thing that I like is it was the first of the, or was it the second of the revamped semi 3D pixel art style? Like the black and white art style type.
Yeah.
Where you've still got 2D, but they're more animated. They're a bit more. Then that art style just encompasses it. That is what I expect from a Pokemon game. The updated mechanics as well. Away from DVs, you now have EVs. Shiny hunting was still a thing in that game. It's it's hard to like put a nail in the head of everyone who plays Pokemon has their favorite generation, and for a lot of people it was Diamond and Pearl. But then when that remaster came around, that went down like a hardcore lead balloon, and that was with Switch technology. The jump from DS to Switch is huge. It just had everything. It had everything for everyone, and I think it's been the only Pokemon game since that has actually ticked almost every box for every player. Even if you hate Johto and you hate Kanto, like the introduction of the extra 200 and so mons from Gens 3 and 4 that were actually integrated into the story. The only downside is they didn't revamp the trainers in the main storyline, which I would have really liked. But like as we've seen with any of these remakes from Pokemon, they stick to it to the gun. Like you're not getting anything different. Yeah. I would have also liked a challenge mode because I think they did challenge mode in Black and White and Black and White 2 to make the game harder.
But that was before, remember? So Heart Gold Soul Silver came out before.
Oh, it was the first then. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's the first one. Yeah. Because I think the way it went, if I'm not mistaken, it was Diamond and Pearl, Platinum, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, and then we got Black and White.
Yes, because obviously Black and White is Gen 5.
Yeah.
It had everything that you wanted from a game, and it was. I mean, the remasters of Fire Red, Leaf Green have stood the test of time because of their modded capabilities.
Yeah.
Heart Gold Soul Silver has stood the test of time because of the game itself. No one mods that game, really, other than just changing trainers. Because that's the only thing you need to change. And the art style brings out what the original pixel art style of the Game Boy couldn't bring to the table. Going into Ecruteak City, and I remember actually understanding the bell tower, the middle bit, is the wooden stake. Because in a general pixel bit, it's just a black block.
You have no idea what that is.
The day and night cycle. makes sense now. Like you could see things with all the little lanterns on, and yeah, it's held very dear in my heart, and the reason why I went out and bought the actual game again. There's a reason why behind me, is my original copy of Gold way back when. It's honestly the best game I've ever played by far.
Yeah.
And I think nothing will ever top it.
Yeah, no, I can't, like, it's my favorite game. Like, I can say Persona 4 is like my favorite video game, but like, it's like I do this with like anime. I do this with everything. Like, I don't fuck with my childhood. Like, if you were to put a gun to my head and tell me what my favorite game was, I'd say Heart Gold Soul Silver without batting an eye. Right? But when I talk about like video games, I'm like, I'll like not pick Pokemon because Pokemon's like, it's my childhood. Like, it's always going to be number one in my heart, right? And Pokemon Heart Gold is always number one in my heart when it comes to Pokemon. And I don't think that'll ever change. It just won't. Like Jake said, it just won't. Anytime I hop into Johto, whether it be on Heart Gold Soul Silver or a ROM that's using Game Boy Advance technology but using the graphic style of Heart Gold Soul Silver, it just puts an instant smile on my face. Plus the remastered OST that they did for it, like Gold and Silver had a great soundtrack, and they revamped it for Heart Gold Soul Silver, and it's fucking beautiful. Like, you could play each and every city, and I could tell you exactly what city it was just by the music alone. It's like, oh, that's Equity. Oh, that's Violet. Oh, that's Goldenrod. Oh, that's Olivine. Oh, that's that's Blackthorn. Oh, we're fighting Lance. Oh, that's Red.
Yep.
Like
everyone knows
we're
Red.
in Kanto. Yeah. Oh, we're in Kanto. Oh, we're in Johto. Like like those are like core memories. And yeah, the fact that you had access to all those Pokemon, you could bring your Pokemon over via the PAL Park if you could in Diamond and Pearl, which is really cool. It's just
10 out of 10.
It's
just 10 out of 10.
I can't. I can't. Like,
I don't think there's another game that I pick up almost every year, and I'll sit there and like, right, I want to play through this again. And every year, without fail, for the past 5 years, I've done a run on that game.
My first ever Twitch stream was a Pokemon Heart Gold Soul Silver Nuzlocke.
And that was
like, well, yeah,
it's just the easiest one. It's like you look at the list.
It's my favorite one.
It's like, I want to play that one.
Yeah, if I'm Nuzlocking a game and I want to enjoy the time and the stress, I'm picking my favorite game, because at least if I'm stressed, I'm like, at least I'm in Johto.
But I think that's it's been a good roundup. We've done
for sure.
We've done racing games, sporting games.
Yeah.
We've done shooters. We've done RPGs. You've done technically JRPGs as well. We've had a vast array of things. I know we'll probably get called out. There's not a Halo fan. Like, Halo was huge. Gears of War. What else am I missing from the huge gaming community?
I mean,
like
there's
Smash.
There's so many games out there. But I think what I want people to understand about this one, for me and for Jake, as gamers, we are pretty diverse. We like different things. We're not just one specific genre of gamer. Yes, we absolutely love and adore Pokemon, and we play Pokemon a lot, an unhealthily amount of Pokemon we play. But outside of that, Jake loves his Hollow Knight, which is not my jam. I probably will never pick up Hollow Knight a day in my life. It's just not my cup of tea. Like, but at the same time, Jake will probably not pick up a Persona game because it's just not probably going to be his jam. All right, like, just know that when we talk about video games, you've got two different minds here who like all types of video games. You're not talking to the two guys who just love Pokemon, because we like a little bit of everything, even though our favorite game is Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver. And like, I was like, oh yeah, me and Jake can come up with 5 different ones. And I was like, oh man, we can't do 9. 9's too much. I'm like, oh wait a second.
It would be a race to who could say Heart Gold Soul Silver first.
Yeah, it just I was sitting there thinking about it, and I was just like, when we do this, we might as well just do the 9 and do 4 and 4 because I know one of ours is going to be Pokemon Heart Gold, Soul Silver, and it would be so dumb to just be like, yeah. So my first one's Heart Gold, Soul Silver, and then I'm like four down, I'm like, and the next one on my list is also Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver. But no, it's awesome. I really like doing this stuff. I love talking about video games. I love taking a little bit of a break from the ZA hype train.
We'll be back.
It's been a
I'm
crazy
going to finish it this weekend. You have my word. Once I fix the technological issues, I am sitting down and I am playing it all in its entirety. I'm ranked D. I've probably got about 10 hours left. I'm not doing any side quests. There is hundreds on the map and it's triggering me. I'm going to finish the main story.
There you go. You got this. I believe in you. I believe in you. Well, guys, that's going to do us for this episode of the Dual Hemisphere Hangout. My name's Luke. That has been Jake. And we will see you next time where Jake should be, ZA. So we'll see you guys then. All right, guys. Bye-bye.